Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and I'm here today with Michael Tibbetts, who's the founder and CEO of Salterra. What's Salterra? Well, it's a brand new resort in the Turks and Caicos, and it sounds wonderful. I got to get down there. We'll actually see it, but you're going to get a little glimpse of it here as we talk to Michael about the property, and you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Michael, first of all, great to meet you here, although I wish it was down in your place. Right?
I know. I would love to have you down to South Caicos.
We'd love to do that. So this is a brand new, you opened only in March this year, 2025. Can you tell us a little bit about how this project was developed and what was your concept for the resort?
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for having me. So Salterra is a vision that evolved over time. My family has heritage in the Cayman Islands in the another British overseas territory. Family goes back a couple centuries there. So that's our connection to hospitality. But a few years ago, we decided we really wanted to look and explore outside of Cayman. And so we acquired this property and then really developed the vision for Salterra. We really wanted to design a hotel that had a great sense of place. That wasn't just a hotel that you could put on any beautiful beach, but really,
because there are a lot of those, and you got one of the most beautiful beaches in the Turks and Caicos because you got a lot of beautiful beaches, right?
There are many beautiful beaches, beautiful water, but we wanted to say, could we do something different? Could guests that come to our resort know and learn something about the history of the island, the culture, and the very name Salterra, the land of salt, it derives from this island, South Caicos. So it's important to point out that we're about 40 miles from Providenciales, a bit more exclusive, but also accessible. And we'll talk more about that. But Salterra, the land of salt, in this island, there are about 450 acres of salt flats or ponds that for centuries, first the native Taino peoples, Bermudan sailors, and others have harvested salt. And so that story is interwoven through Salterra, from the artwork to the decor to the food and beverage outlets, the excursions that we offer. And I think that's something that we really hope that guests feel a part of the place. Got it. And they leave feeling enriched by that.
Now, you mentioned, where is exactly Salterra located and how do you get there? Because obviously you said you're a little farther south in the South Caicos Island. Is that where you are?
That's right. Yeah. So it's important to point out that Turks and Caicos is about 40 islands. Right. Providenciales, where most of the hotels and resorts are, is just one of them. And South Caicos is, again, about 45 miles from Providenciales. It's an island of a bit over 1,000 people, yet you're able to get there pretty easily. So you can take a direct flight from Miami on American Airlines twice a week on a 76-passenger jet. You can also hop over from Providenciales. So there's many flights into Providenciales, so people call it Provo. And it's an 18-minute flight, quick hop over, and you're at the resort in just a few minutes. And then the third option is you could take a boat from Providenciales. It's about an hour and a half or so boat ride. Beautiful boat ride across pristine bank, crystal clear water, sandy bottom. So, really, we find guests, depending on their preference, depending on where they're coming from, can have options and feel kind of like they're a world apart, but pretty easy to get there.
Well, it does seem it's a bit of a journey to get there, but not terribly. It sounds like a good deal with just an hour boat ride and a quick flight, no matter what.
And 80 minutes from Miami. 80 minutes from Miami, direct to the island. It's pretty awesome. You can take a 10:30 flight, and you could be at our resort having lunch.
That's a deal. That's a date. I tell you that. I like that. Now, who are your guests? Who are you trying to target? Is it couples, families, singles, groups? Who is going to be staying there?
Yeah. So 6 months ago, I would say who's here we think could be our guests, but now we know. And I could really say from spending a lot of time on property and meeting with our guests that we've had honeymoon couples, baby moon couples, older couples celebrating anniversary who've had a fantastic stay. We've also had multi-generational families that have come. Our resort, 100 rooms and suites, but it's across about 85 acres, 2 miles of private beach. You're not going to run into anyone else. So it's enough where we have activities for kids, kids pool, kids club, lots of excursions, but also a place where a couple can have a romantic getaway. We've also have had corporate groups. We've had executive retreats there. A young tech company that did a retreat at the resort. We've also had corporate buyout groups for incentive travel to stay.
You only have 100 rooms, so
That's right. So I think it's a great destination for people that want kind of authentic Caribbean. And I think that's what we found that really appeals to people.
Yeah, well, I just came back from another type of Caribbean, one of the big resorts in Nassau. So that's everybody. If you want authentic Caribbean, that's probably not the place to go. But if you want that kind of thing, but this is really out there, being on an island that is really with a Caribbean feel, yes, away from it all, right?
Absolutely. There's a small fishing village on the island where boats daily bring in spiny lobster and conch and other fish that we work with to bring fresh seafood into the resort. So there really is a charm. Your kids can run up and down the beach, can wander all over. You might run into some wild donkeys, or you might see some flamingos, but not much else.
Okay. So that's what you do. Now, we talked about there are 100 rooms. What's the mix of rooms and suites that you have? And what kind of rooms are we talking about? Yeah.
Great. So all of our rooms are ocean view, oceanfront rooms. 54 of them are suites, a combination of 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and then 2 really expansive governor suites that are 3 bedroom, 3 bath, full kitchens. So we have kings and queens. They're really generously sized rooms, all with a balcony. Our first floor rooms have a lanai patio, which is great, especially for families coming in and out. They've got a hammock, they've got outside seating. Kids can run in and out of the pool right from the back door. So really, I think a good mix. The suites the 1-bedroom suites have really generous bathrooms with tubs, double-headed shower, really a luxurious bathroom. So happy to share more.
That's it. Well, we hopefully we're going to show some of these on screen as we're talking about it. Now, what about dining? I mean, you're there. It's not like, I guess you could go to the fishing village, but I don't know where else you could dine. What do you have on property for restaurants and bars?
Yeah, so I'm really proud. We have a really great food and beverage team and multiple options. So really 6 outlets that are distinct, that range from a really cool casual cafe called Flamingo Cafe that serves coffee and gelato and pastries, to a fine dining restaurant that has a tasting menu in which each course is paired with a different salt and tells the story of South Caicos.
Which makes sense where you are, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So it's really, I think the feedback has been awesome from guests, really enjoying that kind of interactive meal. Of course, our team kind of tells the story of each dish and the background to it. We also have a restaurant called Regatta that has sort of a British Caribbean theme, but it's a restaurant you could go to, 3 nights and eat something different every night. Steak, seafood, pasta on that menu. We have a beachfront bar and grill called Kobo, which means conch in the Taino language, that has kind of a Latin-inspired cuisine, so great tacos, bowls, steaks, really a great lunch spot. And then we have a lobby bar called Sisal, which really has some great crafted cocktails. You can get casual bites, kind of shareable food. And then we have an outdoor kind of food truck setup called Jack and Jenny's.
Okay,
so
that sounds fun.
After the male and female donkeys. And we do some fun activations there. Like we'll do kind of an outdoor dinner buffet once a week. We're coming up with a few new concepts that will hopefully debut later in the year.
So you're not going to go hungry at the resort, and you don't have to really go off property, go back to one of the other islands to find other resorts, right?
Absolutely not. I mean, there's a lot of options, and really have a great team that, and we're a small resort that, in some situations just have guests sit down with the chef and say, what do you want to eat this week? How can we kind of plan out your stay?
That's great. Now, what do people do there when they're there? What kind of activities and excursions do you have on property? Or do people just like to go and be on the beach? Some people do, but some people want to be more active, right?
Yes, and certainly we have guests that want to come lounge by the pool, hang out at the beach, but we offer a lot more. we have our own in-house team called Adventures by Salterra. So we have a fleet of boats. We have airboats where you can do some really cool excursions to this really shallow water bank. We have scuba diving, bone fishing, really cool kayak excursions. We have Jeep safari tours around the island, and it's all at the resort, and it's all our team. So it's not like you have to go to a third-party company and wonder, are they going to show up and what it's going to be like. We will take care of everything, and most of the excursions just leave from the beach right at our resort. So I really think that Salterra appeals to those couples, families that want a great luxurious experience, but also want a sense of adventure, because we're really at the cusp of some really amazing uninhabited cays, beautiful water in Turks and Caicos. And so I think that's who the place kind of resonates the most with. We certainly have some beautiful pools, beautiful beach. We also have an amazing spa.
We're going to talk about that, because I've read about this. Now, talk a little bit about that spa, because it sounds pretty special.
Sure. So the spa was designed, it's kind of a Bermudan architectural design, which is influenced by some of the first settlers of South Caicos. And it's really a whole complex into itself that has a pool, hot tub, aquathermal facility, so steam room and sauna. It also has 8 treatment rooms, and we have a really great experienced team that do some really cool, variety of treatments, from kind of traditional massage to a salt scrub massage. I was
going to ask you, I think a salt scrub was appropriate on this resort, right? Yeah.
And I had one myself a few weeks ago, and it was an amazing experience. Yeah. So we're getting very, very positive feedback about the spa. People can just lounge for an afternoon too, if they want.
That's amazing. Now you launched as part of Marriott's luxury collection, right? That's your main affiliation now, as with a hotel group, right?
That's correct. So we're in the luxury collection, and the tagline for the luxury collection is a hotel that defines the destination. And we really aim to live that out, kind of as I described, in all aspects of the resort.
It sounds like it, absolutely. Now, we go out to about 125,000 travel advisors. How can they work best with you to tailor the experience for their clients?
Sure. So, of course, you can find information on our website, which is salterra.com. That's SALTERRA.com.
That's pretty easy.
Pretty easy, salterra.com. And then there's also information on Marriott.com, but really to reach out and talk to our sales team. So we have a leisure sales team, director of sales and marketing, and maybe we could put this in the notes, but Riley Wilkins is our leisure director of sales. They could reach out to her. And we're really a hands-on team. So we can reach the resort, you can reach Riley, you can reach me, and we love to curate a stay. We really want to be hands-on to shape the best experience for our guests.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, thank you for taking the time. We're up in New York now. Now I want to go down there and see the property. It sounds wonderful, and it is brand new. It's only in March 2025, and already part of the luxury collection. And it sounds like a wonderful way to get away and really experience a true Caribbean and Turks and Caicos experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun, and I hope to maybe have a follow-up in South Caicos.
That would be the goal, is to go down and talk to you, talk to your team, talk to the chefs on board. Absolutely. And love to do that. I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.